Come on. Got a nice spot under here. I never get sick of fish. I like things even if they're difficult. I really do. Hi, I'm Greg Ovens, and this is Ovens Rocky Mountain Bushcraft. There we go. Oh. I watched Amos Rodriguez video where Wooded Beardsman Zach and myself were challenged to shop at your local store. He had 4 items. That's what I'm going to do. Go to a spot and do the overnight with the 4 items. I think this will be exciting. Like anytime somebody challenges me to something like this, well, I'm right on board for sure. I like Back to the Future. Nobody calls me chicken.
Grab hold of something.
But anyway, I probably won't get to the spot till tomorrow. We'll do our shop. And but what I'm doing today before I head out tomorrow on this challenge is I was in the city yesterday and got something that I haven't had for years. I think it's about 20 since I had frog legs. And at the farmer's market in the city, frog legs. Man, I remember they used to be so good. I remember when I was young, we'd go to this seafood restaurant in Westminster, BC. And it was kind of out on the river, like out on a pier. And I would always have frog legs. So, I'm going to cook those up. Get ready for tomorrow to head out, so let's hop to it. So, the mouse came into my frying pan last night, obviously. There's mouse doodle in there, so, and into my butter too. So, I've got new butter. Yeah, make sure if mice have been on your cutlery, in your food, throw the food away. And disinfect your pots, pans, or whatever if you see any sign of mice. They just carry so many diseases, man. It's just... Okay, well, again, I'm going to put some butter and garlic, a shot of white wine again. I boiled water in this pot for 10 minutes. Man, I just hate mice. I mean, I should just hang the pots up and stuff like that, but sometimes it gets late when you're cooking, and I just don't know how Larry Roberts and Sam Larson were able to eat mice.
Whammo!
That's one thing that I've never eaten, and I don't think I care ever to eat, is mice or rats. I mean, they just, I don't know. I can eat a lot of things, like these frog legs, and I've eaten lots of insects, and snake, nothing bothers me, but these rodents that carry diseases, they bother me. Absolute last survival resort for me. But anyway, I haven't had frog legs, like I say, since I was about 25. I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't seen them for sale anywhere. And I go to this big farmer's market in the big city, and there they were. So that's what we're cooking. I'm going to drain the juice out of them. That should attract the bears, I'm sure. I'm kidding. I guarantee you this is going to be good. Not much on the forearm piece here, but this is the meat you're after. Just looks like a bunch of bums hanging out.
How you know who we are?
Now they've been like cooking. I flipped them over in the garlic butter for just a few minutes. Just a shot of wine. Just a sprinkle. That's all we need. Bring out the flavor in almost anything, the wine. Now doesn't that look good? Okay, they're done. Yummy. First frog in a long time. Believe it or not, that is really good. It's similar to chicken, but it still has its own unique flavor, in my opinion. These big pieces. Got a big bone there. Kind of a sweet chicken taste to me. Very tender as well. Cooked perfect. That's what I remember as a kid. My younger years, man. Used to love frog. It's not like they go out and catch these in the wild. They raise them. It's too bad they don't get bigger. That's good. I think it's more like grouse than chicken. But I love grouse as well. But there's nothing wrong with these frog legs. Ate it to the bone. So good. We're going to head out, get some supplies, just 4 items. Amos Rodriguez Challenge overnight. So stay tuned. Hopefully the Wooded Beardsman and Zach do the same thing. I don't know if I'm the first one to accept the challenge, but just don't challenge me because I'll take it on. I think Finn should be okay with these bones. They're not like chicken bones really. Here, you want that, Finn? It's got some good meat on it still, Finn. Let me try that. To me, that frog was just dynamite. I mean, I loved it. I loved it. Finn, he doesn't seem to care for it, but that's his problem. But I remember when in the 80s, 90s maybe, there used to be a video game, Frogger. I'm sure some of you remember that. But here's the interesting thing. Like, I was watching this documentary, and there's people called Froggers. And they basically stay in your vacation home while you're gone, leave everything as it was. You never knew they were there. And apparently this is a bigger thing than I imagined.
Someone is secretly living inside your home.
So I watched this show, and then sometimes they'll even live in your house while you're there. Up in an attic, crawl space, a room you don't use or never use. And you never know these people are there. This documentary was amazing. I couldn't believe that people have the audacity to live in your house while you're there and basically cook and do everything and stay there while you're there. But this one woman in Hawaii, I think it was Hawaii, she came into a room she never goes into and noticed that things were out of place. There were some dishes and cutlery and, well, what's going on here? We never come into this room, and started looking around and opened a closet door, and here's a frogger in behind her clothes. That must have been freaky. That's unbelievable. I mean, so it's not just the homeless you gotta watch. You gotta watch people living in your house while you're there.
I watched Fantasia a lot.
Holy crow, man. They'd have trouble with me because, I mean, I just got my hammock. I mean, it's not likely I'm gonna come back to my hammock and somebody's living in my hammock. I mean, I'd just say, hit the road, Jack. That's what I'd do. It's been really cold and rainy, cold, fresh snow on the mountains. Maybe I didn't choose the most ideal time to do this, but you can't always choose the conditions you're in. It's only for an overnight, so I'm not too worried. As long as I have a fire and make some kind of shelter, I should be okay. But yeah, fresh snow, and it's supposed to rain tonight, so shelter is going to be priority. We'll get to the spot, hike in, and get on it. I got to get going, but I've been working on the old sport track here for days, and I have to give up on it. I had to change the fuel pump, and that was a big project. I changed the fuel pump, and it still won't start. I mean, before I had no fuel. Now I seem to have fuel, but it still won't start. So I don't have time. I've been playing with this for days, trying to get it running. So I put insurance back on the old Ranger. And boy, talk about vehicle problems. Behind me here, a friend came to visit, punctured their oil pan, and their vehicle's been sitting here for days. And then what happened was I got the Ranger on the road. I was going to head out, and I had a blowout. And these are 14-inch tires. You can't even find them anywhere. And the spare was no good either. So then what I did is I changed to 15-inch tires on it. The very next day, trying to head out again. And then the steady bearing on the drive shaft, it's a 2-piece drive shaft, then that blew out. So I just got that fixed now. So at this point, I'm just waiting for the locusts, you know, like it in the Bible, the plagues. I mean, it's just getting ridiculous with vehicles, like all these vehicles, and you get one thing fixed, and the very next day something else goes wrong. It's just getting ridiculous. But anyway, I think I'm finally ready to take this one. Let's go get our items and get out of here. The family pantry, Canal Flats. This is where I'll get my 4 items and a can of food for Finn's. I mean, that doesn't count as an item because I gotta bring him. Once I realized how dirty my hands are from working on vehicles when I'm showing the items I'm getting, I'm gonna wash my hands. It's just because I'm working on vehicles, man. Wow, that's just grease and dirt. I'm working on these stupid vehicles for days and days. Come on, Finn. Come on. You noticed, I'm sure, that I chose different items than I most did. You'll see why. I mean, I didn't bring a knife. I don't think it's going to be necessary. But these mosquitoes, when you get in the bush here, are pretty brutal. I am going to make a skunk cabbage shelter like he did. But I don't want to copy everything he did as far as Bojo, this, that. And I got some fishing line, a couple flies, because the creeks are open to fishing now. And hopefully I can just catch a fish or two. See what plants I can cook up and go from there. I'm going to put a handful of this. It's nice and dry even though it's been raining for quite a bit. I'm going to throw some of that in my pocket here. Here's a chunk of rotten stump. I'm going to grab that. I almost want to keep moving here. I'm just getting eaten alive by mosquitoes already. Come on, Fins. I'm looking for possibilities of a shelter. I think this will be good. I can make my bed in here. We're under these big cedar trees. I came to a spot because I knew there was skunk cabbage here. And also, there's 2 creeks here that might have fish, both in walking distance, one in each direction here. So get on my shelter because it is supposed to pour rain tonight. And it's sure raining mosquitoes right now. But, so I want to get that done. And then get the fire going, and whether we catch fish or not, be a nice way to end the video. I gotta leave my coat on because of these mosquitoes. They're just horrendous, just brutal, Finn. And if it gets windy, we got a lot of shelter around the trees. And this is pretty soft, so we should be okay for the night. But probably end up in the hospital. We'll have so many mosquito bites. I tell you, this is going to be a chore. All these mosquitoes. We'll endure for a night. We will. Look at the mosquitoes on you, Finn. Here, let's get these off of you. Unreal. You're not going to like it either, eh? And then I'll put this here, approximately same height as that. Let's see. I don't know if this one's dead enough. Oh, looks like the whole thing could fall. Oh, I got her. I don't see any moss. Would be nice for the bed, but it'll be soft under the trees anyway. Starting to get the framework. I'd rather have this one here. The stinging nettle's really tall right now. I could still eat the tops if I want. But still trying to find stuff for the shelter. Need some boughs. Everything's almost out of reach. Got a maple here. The cedar is almost out of reach. Everything by hand. Pull some of the ones off that are gonna stick underneath. I just gotta find whatever I can use to support the cabbage, skunk cabbage. No knife, but they break off okay. Oh. Knock the camera over. I'm just going to take these off because I'm pretty sure that I've got enough support here anyway. Got big leaves. They kind of stick to each other too, so. We'll just work our way up. I decided to take my maple, and where the ends are here, I weaved my maple through just to hold the ends up. Okay, so I got another cross member here to hold this in. And it is starting to rain too, so I really want to get this done and get a fire going, so maybe the mosquitoes won't be so bad. I have my shelter all figured out. All right, to the top. It's not gonna leak. Now, I doubled a couple spots where some of the leaves had holes in them, so I doubled up a couple spots, which adds weight to hold it down. It looks like it's getting windy on us, so I don't want this blowing off. And I did find a hemlock and got a few boughs I'm going to put on it. I'm just kind of rushing this project to get this done because it is raining and it's starting to get windy. I don't want the skunk cabbage leaves to blow off either. Start down here and just weight it down a bit so it doesn't blow. And if the wind blows against this, it's not going to blow my leaves, lift them up. And I can take branches like this and just lean against it gently. I'm happy with it. Got a nice spot under here. Hard for you to see in the dark here under here, but that's plenty adequate to sleep on. It's soft. Pull any big twigs out, but I'm good to go. So I'm going to attempt the fire now, and I've never tried it with the battery and the steel wool, the SOS with cotton wood. It's probably enough. I'm going to kind of weave it together a little bit. Put it in here. I'm going to take my dry powder that I collected, sprinkle on the middle kind of. I got some more dry rotted stump here. And then basically just short it out. You see the sparks? You gotta use a little patience sometimes. It didn't go that time. Use a stick and you can push it together more because it gets really hot too. But you see the sparks I'm getting? And eventually one of them will catch. Just move it around until you keep seeing sparks. If I could concentrate on doing this without the mosquitoes, it'd be just dynamite. I mean, some of these methods, they don't just go right away either. Doesn't seem like the cottonwood's doing us any good. Oh, look at these mosquitoes. They're driving me insane. Not getting constant sparks, but I hope this battery doesn't die. Oh, I think we might have a coal. I see smoke. Of course, I'm probably blowing my coal out. Oh, I see smoke. No, I think it went out. Okay, I got rid of the cottonwood. It doesn't seem to be helping us. I will get it. Yeah, it's very hard to be patient when you're fighting with these mosquitoes like this. Okay, we got her. See that? Now I just got to feed my coal. Don't smother your coal now. Now we just got to be patient. Oh, it's very hard to be patient, Finn, with these mosquitoes. There we go. Hey, that took effort. Okay, I got my coal pretty big here. And I collected a bit of cedar. And I put this on the back side. There we go. Oh, went out. Huh. Not having a lot of success here, am I? Had to move my coal. Didn't let it go out. But the cedar needles didn't want to ignite. I don't know why. I'm going to look for something else here. Well, that coal's getting big again. Small twigs, dry. Okay, I found a little bit of grass here. It actually burnt a hole right through the skunk cabbage leaf, and we had flame a couple times and then it still didn't want to go, so I'm just going to get a bigger flame, or I mean a bigger coal. Just keep feeding it until it's big as I want. Okay, surely that's big enough. All right, now we got her. All right, get that to a spot. Now I do have some birch bark I collected and some twigs. I am done with fighting with this fire. That took effort, but we got her. It's not going out now. But I'm ready for bed. And there's nothing to cook. I don't have pots. I'm not going to eat raw stinging nettles. But hopefully tomorrow I can finish this video with a catch and cook of a trout out of one of the creeks. I'll see you guys in the morning, and hopefully we can catch a fish. Hope you're enjoying this challenge. I am. I like things even if they're difficult. I really do. Morning. Well, I was warm enough. Again, I've had more comfortable sleeps. It would have been nice to have found some moss. I didn't see any moss really in this area. But, you know, it's not that I really even needed the skunk cabbage shelter, because beside these big cedar trees, I mean, it's dry under here even where the shelter wasn't, even though it rained all night. So, you know, that's something I always advocate, is keep things simple if you don't have to, in a survival situation, spend time and effort building a shelter because you are under some big trees. Then it's not really necessary. It would have been nice to spend some extra time, maybe put a bunch of these ferns and hang them over the ends and try to keep some of the mosquitoes out. They weren't nearly as bad as when I was building the shelter during the night. There's the odd one, but probably the rain. It was raining hard enough that it kept them down too. I'm gonna walk over to the creek here. There's two creeks that I can hike to. I think I'll go to the bigger creek. Might have more success. I brought a couple of flies, you noticed, because you're not allowed bait in the creeks. It's got to be a barbless fly, and as a result, I might get lucky and get one on a fly. We succeeded with our quest to build the shelter, the overnight 4-item. Got the fire going. Let's go see if we can catch a fish. So I just flew the drone around my shelter and up, and you can see the one little creek, which isn't too far from the shelter, but I want to go to the bigger creek, which is probably a couple of kilometers or about a mile hike, because I think it's going to have like some decent fish in it. I don't even know if the little creek has any fish in it, so it's a little wet hiking through the bush now. Show you the creek. Just going to look for some kind of a fishing spot. Finn's thirsty. Just walking along here, and there's a hornet nest. It's always neat just to see things like that. I don't know if there's any hornets in it. If there is, I mean, they wouldn't be out in this weather. What do you got now? Here, sit. You found a thong somewhere. Huh. Where do you find these things, Finn? Let me see the thong. No, you won't give it to me, will you? I'm just going to use a grasshopper fly. See the legs on it here. You know, one of the reasons I wanted to come to this area to do this overnight challenge was this creek here. You're actually allowed to keep bull trout of any size, and that's rare in the creeks and rivers to be able to keep bull trout of any size. A lot of the rivers, they have to be like 75 centimeters. Even the lakes, they have to be 50 centimeters. But here, there's not a size limit on bull trout. So I thought it would be ideal, and hopefully I can get one. That'd be cool. I got one on here. A little brookie. All right. Little brookie. See if we can get something bigger, but we got something for the frying pan. Little brookie. You'll like it when a plan comes together. It's a grasshopper fly. No bullies, but a little brookie's better than nothing. There's another bite. Huh. Missed him. I think I got him. Oh, this guy's bigger. There we go. Just don't get off. Oh no, I guess he's not much different. Maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah, he's a little bigger. That guy's a little bigger. Well, there we go. 2 brookies. Just trying to find a dry spot to have my fire. Maybe I can take a rock like this and break it to clean my fish. I'm gonna have to use 2 hands. There we go. Actually, I got a little piece here I think will work for cleaning the fish. That works. Stone tools. I'll just use my lighter to speed this part up. It's really wet out again. You see how that smoke, if you build your fire near a big boulder like this, the smoke just basically, it's like a big chimney and it just follows the rock up. That's another little thing to keep in mind. I'm glad I did the catch and cook. I'm glad I brought the line and a couple of flies. I didn't need a knife. I used that little rock to clean it. So all in all, this has been pretty successful. That rock I was trying to break, I just used that flat rock. I'm just gonna have my fire on it for about half an hour and the rock will be hot enough to cook my fish. Perfect. I'm just gonna pull the coals to the sides. Rookie. I was pretty hungry. Done just right. That is good. That is really good. I never get sick of fish. Okay, you just lie there. Stay. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the Not a Wal-mart challenge. Wal-mart challenge. There's more adventures to come, so you have to stay tuned. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you, subscribers. Thanks all you viewers. We're getting soaked out here. We got to get going and get to the hospital and get our malaria shots. We'll see you on the next one. Take your stick. Bring it. Let's go.